Good morning, guys. So, it's early. It's 6:48. Look how dark it is still outside. It's pitch black out there. I've been up since 4. I get up at 4 all the time. I wake up and then I can't go back to sleep. So, I wanted to show you what I did yesterday and talk about a product I use all the time. My mother bought me this one. I had one. It was a little rusty. I got it from the Goodwill. It's a Foley food mill. It says it's good for canning, applesauce, mashed potatoes, mashes rices, strains. So what I have here is I had a whole bunch of Kenora Coke. We have baby goats we're feeding, and they have nipples that go on the sodas, and it's easier because they get like 10 ounces and bottles only come in. It's a long story in 8 ounces. I'll do a video on that one too. But I have this here, and as you can see, it's just cooked down orange quarters. I put it in the slow pot yesterday because I was making seafood chowder and biscuits, homemade biscuits. So it took a little while, and I was trying to do 10 million things, of course, as usual, because that's how I go. That's just what I do. So anyway, in this food mill, a Foley food mill, 2-quart. These are ancient. My mom had one when I grew up, and we used it for like tomato stuff. So it's a pretty simple design. It's got like a colander at the bottom. And you put in your stuff, and as you roll it around, see, it goes this way, you'll figure it out. And it goes clockwise. And what happens is you can see this side's higher than that side. And your food stuff will go in here. And as you crank it around, it squishes it, so all of the juice and stuff gets in there. And sometimes you have to clean this out. They are very, more like a grater. If you can, I don't know if we can see in there. Yeah, see how they're like raised and a little bit sharp? It's more like a grater than it is a strainer. But that helps catch all the little seeds and nastiness. So you don't get that in your look, I need to wash that. Into your food. And I always wash everything after it's been put away because it gets stored downstairs and it gets, nasty. And it gets, dust on it and all sorts of stuff on it. My mom washed this. She did not do a good job. That's gross. So, anyway, as you can see, look at all the juice in here. And I suppose I could just let it drain forever, but I still don't think you're going to get all of the juice out of it this way. So this way I'll be able to. And I'm actually making some orange sauce for deep fried chicken or for duck. Or it's an Asian sauce. You could make it whichever way you wanted it. My mom suggested orange marmalade. I don't like orange marmalade, so I try not to make stuff I won't eat. It doesn't make sense to save something and process something that I'm not going to eat. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I mean, it's just a waste of time. So, I wanted to show you how this works. I guess I could turn this around, set you on the coffee pot, and then close, and I will talk to you while I wash. Oh, there we go. Huh. You're looking at the ceiling. Oh, there's the ceiling. Look, there's me. Early morning here. It's really early. Like, super duper early morning. Get this to stand up. There we go. I need one of those stands, don't I? You're like, okay, Kim, we don't want to watch you do that kind of craziness stuff. You're making our head spin. Maybe I can't do this. Maybe it doesn't work for me. Maybe it doesn't. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Ha ha! Ta-da! I got it. All right, let me get this washed. I have big bowls in the sink. It seems like you never get rid of the dishes, do you? When you're doing food prep and stuff, it never ends. Never, ever ends. There's always dishes to do, some sort of food to clean out. Always something going on. It is definitely a busy time. And I'm still putting away food. If you look on the counter behind me, you can see that there's a whole bunch of banana chips again. I get them because the kids won't eat them at the school, and they're throwing them away. And I told them not to throw away the bananas because I'll eat them. I mean, I'll give them to my chickens like them, and the goats like them. I had to cut back a little bit on the goats because they were eating like 3 or 4 a day because I had a bunch for a while. And they were causing them to get a little bit of loose stool. So I cut back on that. They love them. Their favorite thing now is hard like winter pea seed that they want me to like soak so it's nice and moist and then give it to them. Which, if it wasn't $80 for a 25-pound bag, I would definitely want to do that. But that's not cost efficient. I'm not getting that kind of milk out of everything. Okay, so I'm happy with that. It's clean now. You know, when you get older, it's funny because you think you clean something if you don't have your glasses on, and then you look at it later. You didn't clean it. You really didn't get it that clean. I guess that's why I'm so picky about rewashing anything that's been used. Because everyone in this house is supposed to wear their glasses. Sometimes we don't. I'm always making videos saying I forgot to put on my glasses. It's notorious for me to say that. Not new at all. So let me wash off this bowl so that I can have another bowl to use. I can put stuff in it as the last thing you want to happen is to be knee deep in something juicy and then not have enough containers or bowls or whatever you're going to need to use this. Let's dry this one off. Let's see if we can get this going. And I don't know how much the food meals are. I think they're expensive. I think they're like $50. They didn't used to be. COVID did, besides doing a number and stuff, it made a lot of people start to do their own cooking. So maybe, I don't know that the economy has bounced back enough for people to start getting rid of their stuff at the Goodwill. And the Goodwill, because people are shopping there, more people are shopping. I love the Goodwill. I hate paying full price for anything. I'm a miser. But more people are going there, so more people are spending it, and they think they can charge, let me buy coffee. They think they can charge a lot more money than what they're charging for anything that is in the Goodwill. I mean, I've seen some stuff that's just insane prices. So there was another pressure cooker there, a Presto canning. And I thought, oh, I'll look at that. So I put it in my cart, you know, wandered around a little bit. And then I went and pulled it apart to look at it. And it was funny because the gasket at the top, it's got a release gasket. It's rubber. And it was like, oh, I don't know about that. It's kind of old. It should work. It's like an emergency release valve. It should be fine because what it does is it lifts and then it seals it so that the stuff doesn't come out. And I'm like, well, okay, that's replaceable. And then I flipped it over and the whole ring on the inside, the rubber ring that goes on the inside, needed to be replaced too. I'm like, now I'm like, well, you know, maybe, you know, because they're like $50, $60 now at the store. I looked at it and then it wanted $29 for it. And I'm like, okay, $29 I'd pay secondhand if it was in usable condition, but it's not. It's got 2 gaskets that need to be replaced. I'm going to have to find those parts. I don't even know if I can find them. And then I'm going to have to figure out how to get them put on and make sure I do it the right way because you don't want to mess up when you're doing canning. It's not something you want to mess with. So I ended up not getting it and I put it back on the shelf, and I was going around the other side of the aisle and an Amish family had come in, and they're as penny pinching as I am, and he picked it up and I heard him go, $29. I'm not buying that for $29. It needs, so I'm like, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing. When the Amish who live off grid and do, you know, they don't buy food. Well, I have seen them at the grocery store, but I haven't seen them buying a lot of canned food. Most of the time they're in there for vegetables. I don't think I've ever seen them in there with meat. Mostly it's the vegetables and like building supplies. They go to the Goodwill a lot too. My coffee's getting cold. So I think what I'm going to do for this, I think I might do it just, oops, it doesn't want to do it on this bowl. There we go. So let me show you this. Let me again, so you get split lash. All right, so as you can see, it has little prongs on it, specifically made to put on this. So this is the problem with trying to do stuff that hasn't, you know, this has been around for a while, so people know what they're doing to make it. All right, so, and then all you do, oh my goodness gracious. How do people do all this stuff? Clockwise. Well, the problem is it doesn't want to stay on here. I don't want to mess that up. Maybe I need a pot. Oh, Lord, let's try a pot. Maybe we'll try. I may have a smaller pot. Let's try a smaller pot. I'm not going to let you look in there. This is my daughter's pot that she likes to use because it's got, much better. I thought the bowl would be better because it's bigger, but this should be fine. All right, let's see how that works. See how those are in there? And they're just spot welded, so I'm sure they're not welded as they used to be in the olden days. Oh, and I can line that up this way. Do this way. Here's my poppers. And you see, it kind of, and it takes a while to do it. Takes even longer when it's moving all over the counter. There's got to be a better way to do this to show you guys how this works. Besides having like a tripod. But then I don't know if you'd be so far away you wouldn't see. So I'm just going to do a little bit. But look at that. It comes out. Now it does have some pulp in there. I'm not above the pulp. I think the pulp will be just fine. I'll put you back up here. You won't be looking straight down, but I can still talk to you. So I was thinking... I think I know exactly where to put you. And that sounds really funny, but I'm going to stick you in my coffee cupboard. So, as you do this, you're just going to keep going around and around. I was going the right way, counterclockwise. But I've made applesauce this way. We've done tomatoes this way. But this is just going to be a nice glazed sauce to put on top of meats. So you could use it like to drizzle on a salad if you had like a mandarin or some sort of salad you wanted to use an orange flavoring for. It does smell really good. These weren't the sweetest oranges, but the recipe calls for sugar. I like the taste of brown sugar over white sugar. I like that little hint of molasses that goes into it. Plus I like the color it turns it. It makes it a little bit different color. Well, that's quite a bit. I really like it a lot. So that's what I'll use. And it's got soy sauce. You could make it as, tasty as you want. Well, and you know what you like. So if you see a recipe for something and you're like, no, I don't know if I'm going to like that because it's, all the time. I see recipes all the time and I'm like, well, I don't think I'm putting those sriracha sauce in it. And I don't think I'm going to put those hot peppers in it because I don't like hot stuff. I used to when I was younger, but I can't eat it anymore. It makes my stomach hurt. I remember one time my sister and I went to a Thai restaurant, and I don't know if there was a language barrier. So we were in Seattle. And I love curry, but I only like green curry because it's not the hot curry. And I'd asked her if one of the dishes, this curry dish that I wanted to try, I asked her if it was hot, and she was like, no, not hot. Oh my God, it hurt just to put it in my mouth, it hurt. And she's just looking at me, and I told her one, not 10, 1. And it was so hot. Even my sister couldn't eat it. She eats hot stuff. So, I was like, you're either confused or you don't like me. All right, so let me give you a peek at this. So that is what it looks like. Yeah, I'm dripping on you. Let me turn you around. You're going to need this. All right, so look at all that. So that's quite a bit. And then I'll put it back in my crock pot and I'll simmer it down and I'll keep going. Where did I put the recipe? Right here. I did write it down. So this is what it says. It says you're supposed to use orange juice. Well, I don't want to use orange juice. It's sugar, vinegar, soy sauce, garlic, ginger, red chili flake, which I will be leaving out. And cook in a small pot. Add cornstarch and water. Cook until thickened. Stir in orange zest. I don't know if I'll turn in the orange zest. That's very, I can't think of what the word is. I used to eat orange zest all the time. when I was a kid. I would peel it off and eat that before I would eat my orange. And everyone else would be peeling it off and throwing it in the garbage, and I loved that white. I find that I'm a savory person, not a sweet person. So I like the savory tastes versus sweet. Although a good donut's a good donut, but we'll go, that's just how that is. So again, just to recap this. So I'm going to make this. I'm going to put it in. And I didn't give you the... okay, so I'm horrible about this. Because I adapt my recipes so much, I don't normally do measuring as much. If it says like a cup of sugar, I'll start at a half a cup. And I will taste it, and then I make everybody in the house taste it, which sometimes they don't like. So, and then I will put it up. Now this is going to be pretty acidic because it's citrus. So I will look up in my canning book and see how they wanted me to can citrus stuff and how long it needs to be processed. But I won't be making large cans. They'll be little ones because this is something we won't use on an everyday basis. It'll be something special for like if I make orange chicken or duck l'orange. I don't speak French. Duck whatever it's called. And something else. But here it is. It is the original Foley food mill. Stainless steel, great for applesauce. Of course, it's made in China. Used to be made here in the United States. This is part of our problem. So if you see one of these and it's in good condition, it isn't too much. I'm not sure how much this costs. And maybe I'll put a link, a food mill link. I'm not endorsed by them. Obviously, I have 50 followers, so I don't have any endorsements. Nobody cares what I have to say. It is in Spanish on one side. Removable crank assembly for easy cleaning. That tells you how messy it can be. Welded steel handle. Dishwasher safe. That's always a great thing to have. Support brackets. I showed you those. Those are awesome. And it's stainless steel. This one's pretty heavy duty. It is. Yeah. You like this? Like how that fell off? It is pretty heavy duty. It's not flimsy. I'd bought in some stainless steel cups for milking when I'm milking to put it at the milk into. And I got one and it was nice. And then I had another one and it was so thin. I'm like, is this like aluminum foil? I could have made one with aluminum foil thicker than this. So, but there you go. I'll try and leave in a note how it turned out and let you know. Maybe I'll put the recipe in there. I don't know how much orange I put in there, so I'll just tell you what ingredients I ended up using. Well, have a good day, guys. There you go. Bye.